Hello, this is Joe, and I'm going to read some more from Talmud Jmmanuel, Chapter 2. Explanation. Consciousness. The consciousness is that material energy and power factor of the human being by which ideas and thoughts, and from which, in turn, feelings are created. Love, knowledge, and wisdom are created through the human being's learning, whereby the consciousness expands, develops or evolves, and grows in wisdom, and steadily becomes more energy-rich and more powerful, and can also use the created energies and powers. In addition, all created things of the consciousness, such as love, knowledge, and its essence, wisdom, as well as all thoughts, feelings, and emotions are also deposited in overall consciousness block-based, planetary, cosmic, and universal storage banks, and so are all motions, impulsations, the voice, all thought of and spoken words, all actions, deeds, in the body form, etc. Consequently, nothing gets lost, but rather everything is permanent for all time and can also time and again, through the fluidal powers created by the human being, become visibly, palpably, or audibly perceptible to other human beings. The fine fluidal powers, once created by a human being, can be perceptible to other human beings over thousands of years, whether by seeing, feeling, hearing, or perceiving in a fine fluidal wise. Consequently, even after hundreds of years or thousands of years, fluidal images of human beings who formerly existed can still appear as fluidal energy forms, so-called ghost phenomena, or appearances of the dead. Such fluidal energy images of former persons can appear hazy, but also as very compact bodies. See all about the fluidal powers. Billy, Was man seit Verlag Figu. There's a book out there about the fluidal powers that you can pick up either at the figu.org site, the one from the home center in Switzerland, or you can go to theyfly.com and go to that shop and buy the book, or you can go online to many of the other country figu sites, such as Canada, Germany, and other sites. Just go to the original figu.org site and you'll find all the different figu centers and their addresses. The whole thing is only possible, however, because the coarse substance world and fine fluidal world are inseparably connected with each other. And this also refers to the processes that result from the material consciousness, as this also stands in constant connection with the fine fluidal world. And in this regard, particularly the pineal gland, holds an important function. But now, this also means that the material consciousness of the human being stands in direct contact with the universe and is connected in an impulse-based manner with everyone and everything of the ultra nanocosm, microcosm, and macrocosm on a fine fluidal level. See Existent Life in the Universe by Billy. Was man seit Verlag Figu. After the death of the body, the fluidal being, that is, the fluidal existence after the demise or death of the human being, is thereby determined, in which case the fluidal energy or fluidal power very well also carries in itself, in an energy and impulse-based manner, the knowledge and all other values and forms, as well as many other things, of the human being, which he or she acquired during his or her actual life. In this wise, in addition to that which is stored in the storage banks, also everything in the material and semi-fine fluidal realm is stored and carried into the future. After death, the consciousness, that is, the entire consciousness block together with the creational human spirit, namely the spirit form, immediately leaves the body, or the mortal shroud, in order to enter the realm of the other world, while the consciousness block enters into the otherworldly realm of the overall consciousness block created by the spirit. In the overall consciousness block, the entire consciousness block is dissolved and converted into pure neutral energy, whereas the spirit or the spirit form dwells in its own realm of the other world. The material consciousness block is a fact of transience. Consequently, it ceases to exist when the body succumbs to death. From the neutral energy created by the overall consciousness block, from the dissolution of the consciousness block, a new consciousness block with a new personality is created, which is then born at the given time, together with the reincarnating spirit, or the spirit form, which belongs to it. This means that the old consciousness with the old personality, etc., is dissolved and cannot be reborn. Consequently, with the new birth, a completely new consciousness with an equally new and unburdened personality is born, in which case only the creational human spirit, or the spirit form, due to the reincarnation, does not pass away and remains the same and dwells in the new body as a stimulating factor. That is, it animates this and takes this as a residence. Furthermore, the consciousness is capable of sending itself out electromagnetically in a swinging-based manner. That is, taking a consciousness journey in a fine fluidal form, as for example with the so-called cerebral death or in sleep, as well as in other similar states. This means that the consciousness can send out its probes, so to speak, and observe, for example, things and events that happen not far or very far outside the cerebrally dead or sleeping body, or body in another similar state. At the same time, the most well-known phenomenon in this regard is that which occurs with cerebrally dead and then reanimated human beings, when they suddenly float over the seemingly dead body or even to the ceiling, and can very precisely observe everything that happens with the body and in its surroundings, etc. Also, the so-called tunnel effect occurs in this manner, where the consciousness floats through a dark tunnel as whose end usually a strong, bright light appears, an effect that comes about by, among other things, a lack of oxygen in the brain. In the universe, there exists this factor that living and dead matter are integrated into each other, and what is referred to in this relation, what the human being refers to as this world, this is coarse matter, the coarse substantial and palpable world, while the other world is the comprehensive reality of the fine fluidal and the spirit energetical, which are invisible to human beings. And the fact is, the otherworldly spirit energetical realm of the creation universal consciousness in the immaterial universe is very much larger than the material universe, into whose direct realm also the fine fluidal creation energy reaches. Thus, that which is existent in this world and in all material life are surrounded by the fine fluidal and otherworldly, in which each and everything of the actual life of the human being is also stored in the electromagnetic and spirit energetical storage banks. All of the human being's love, knowledge, wisdom, motions, thoughts, deeds, feelings, and all other impulsations, and so on and so forth. Everything stored and deposited in the storage banks and in the fluidal powers never gets lost. Rather, it remains eternally and permanently for all time, until the creation universal consciousness contracts and lies itself in a new evolutive slumber. When it contracts after 155.5 trillion years with its universe, in order to evolve and slumber to a new and higher creational form. When Herod Antipas heard of this, he was frightened, and with him the entire people, the chief priests and the scribes and the Sadducees and Pharisees in Jerusalem, because they feared that the newborn child wielded dreadful power. Herod Antipas called together all the scribes among the people and the chief priests, and inquired of them where Emmanuel should have been born. And they replied, in Bethlehem, in the Jewish land, for thus it was written by the prophet Micah, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of the God believers, are by no means the least among the cities in Judea. For from you shall go forth the King of wisdom, who will bring great knowledge to the people of the God believers, so that they may comprehend or learn and venerate the truth about the creation and its laws and recommendations. Thereupon, Herod Antipas secretly called the 4 wise men to himself, and diligently asked them when and where the bright light with the long tail, Pleiadian beam ship, had appeared in the sky, and they told it to him. After that, he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, let me know, so that I may also go and worship him. After they had listened to Herod Antipas, they departed, and behold, the light with the long tail, which they had observed in the Orient, moved ahead of them with a high singing, whirring sound, until it stood at Bethlehem, directly over the stable of the shelter, where the infant was born. When they saw this, they were filled with great joy. They then went into the stable and found the young child with his mother, Maria, and with Joseph. And they fell down, attested venerability before him, and offered their treasures, which consisted of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. However, the voice again rang out from the singing, whirring light high above, saying that they should not return to Herod Antipas, because he planned evil for the young child. And they returned to their distant land by another route. After the 4 wise men had left, behold, the celestial son Gabriel appeared to Joseph, saying, arise and take the infant, you and his mother Maria, and flee to the land of Egypt, and stay there until I beckon, because Herod Antipas is going about searching for the young child and trying to kill him, because he fears that this newborn, will later, wield terrible power in his land. While you are in the land of Egypt, I will send my delegate to Herod Antipas, so he will teach him the truth." And Joseph arose and took the young child and his mother to himself in the night, and escaped under the guidance of the celestial son Gabriel in the descending, swinging, whirring light, which fled with them to the land of Egypt. Here they remained until Herod Antipas, through the celestial son's sent messenger, had a change of mentality and his inner anxiety settled down. When Herod Antipas saw and knew that he had nothing to fear from the young boy, who was credited only with great wisdom and knowledge, he felt safe in his realm. Thus, he promised the delegate of the celestial son Gabriel that he would no longer pursue Maria, Joseph, and Jmmanuel. Now that Herod Antipas and his followers had changed their mentality, behold, the celestial son Gabriel appeared again before Joseph in the land of Egypt and said, "Arise and take the young child, you and his mother Maria, and go back into the land of the God believers, so that in years he, Emmanuel, may proclaim the teaching of the prophets to them again in a new form. All those who were after sought the child's life have changed their mentalities." And Joseph stood up, took the young child and his mother, and went with them into the singing, whirring light which had appeared again, and it brought them back to the land of the God believers. Thus, the celestial son Gabriel brought them back to the land of Galilee. There they dwelled in the city which is called Nazareth, so that what had been spoken by the prophets would be fulfilled. Emmanuel shall be called the Nazarene. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and Salome.